Imagine a rusting warship, weathered by time and the elements, standing as a symbol of defiance in a sea of geopolitical tension. This is the BRP Sierra Madre, a relic of World War II, embroiled in a modern-day dispute over territorial claims in the South China Sea. How did this aging vessel find itself at the heart of an international conflict between the Philippines and China? Buckle up. We're about to dive deep into this complex issue. Our story begins with the strategic grounding of the Sierra Madre at the Second Thomas Shoal. The Philippine Navy intentionally marooned this ship to establish a permanent presence in the area, aiming to counter China's incursions. The focus of the dispute also extends to the Scarborough Shoal, a common fishing ground within the Philippines' Exclusive Economic Zone, or EEZ. Both these areas are internationally recognized as Philippine territory for economic purposes. However, China disputes this, claiming both shoals as its sovereign territory. The tension escalates with the presence of the Chinese Coast Guard and maritime militia, who patrol these areas, attempting to hinder any Philippine operations. Their tactics are aggressive, including dangerous maneuvers, ramming, use of military-grade lasers, and water cannons against Philippine vessels. In response, the Philippine Secretary of National Defense, Teodoro, announced a shift in tactics. However, the specifics remain undisclosed. Recently, the Philippines raised suspicions of China conducting illegal operations in the Escoda Shoal, also within its EEZ. They reported signs of coral dumping, a hallmark of Chinese reclamation activities that involve creating artificial islands for military use. The Philippine Coast Guard monitored a significant Chinese presence in the area, including militia vessels, Coast Guard ships, a Navy helicopter, and a research ship. In retaliation, the Philippines dispatched the BRP Teresa Magbanua and two smaller Coast Guard ships to the region. The intention is to maintain a permanent patrol, discouraging further Chinese activities. The stakes are high, as the creation of an artificial island within the Philippine EEZ and close to the Philippine Islands could pose a direct threat. The Philippines is now gearing up for a potential legal battle, planning to send researchers to determine the origin of the crushed coral. Taking China to the maritime court may not yield immediate results, as China is likely to ignore any ruling. However, it serves as a strategy to gather evidence and turn international opinion against China's actions. As China aspires to be a major player on the world stage, it will inevitably face scrutiny over its actions. The ongoing display of its dubious activities in the South China Sea will not go unnoticed. The more China appears lawless, the more it risks losing trust. It may reach a point where countries, if not openly against it, will refrain from siding with it. This could tip the scales against its claims in the Western Pacific, forcing it to reconsider its approach as a global power with dwindling allies in its own backyard. To summarize, the South China Sea dispute is a complex and ongoing issue, rooted in territorial claims, aggressive tactics, and potential legal battles. The key players, the Philippines and China, are locked in a standoff that extends beyond the rusting hull of the Sierra Madre or the fishing grounds of the Scarborough Shoal. It's a test of international law, sovereignty, and the balance of power in the Asia-Pacific region. The outcome is uncertain, but the world watches on as this geopolitical drama unfolds in the azure waters of the South China Sea.